If you want to make paid ads work, here are 6 truths we've learned from scaling over $3 million in ad spend. If you're new to the channel, I'm Silvio Perez. I'm the founder of AdConversion. We teach 8,000 plus B2B marketers how to master ads and manage $3 million a month in ad spend for top B2B SaaS brands. And the 6 truths we're going to be sharing in this video came from our experience. We've seen it repeated again and again. And we looked and analyzed all of our most successful customers, and we want to understand what are they doing that the other ones aren't, and we distilled it into these 6 truths. Truth number 1 is that it's not about more campaigns, it's about testing few more impactfully. We find that the companies that struggle and they fail and they just can't really get a good groove and rhythm with ads is that they're just doing too much, and they're doing too much in an unproductive way, meaning they're launching more campaigns because everyone's got their own agenda in their company. They're giving into internal bureaucracy, and they're just kind of getting lost in the motion of launching things, and they're not really focusing on impact. How do the things that we're launching actually impact our KPIs that we care about, and just doing things with more intention and more impactfulness. Because when it comes to ads, and really life, but specifically ads, the 80-20 rule is always there, meaning 20% of your campaigns yield 80% of your results, and you can't really escape that. And then when you drill into the 20%, it's 90-10, 10% of that is yielding 90% of the 20. So it just it always comes down to there's a few things that are working really well, and you really want to iterate and learn from those few things what they are and double down on it, versus always launching net new things that don't necessarily connect or repeat or are based off of the things that are currently working, and you just fall into this trap. The second is B2B buying does not happen in a silo, and your brand needs to be visible across channels. I can't tell you how many times we see people focusing too much on a single channel, and this happens for a multitude of reasons, but they over-index on a single channel, and they have so many wins to be had if they just went on another channel, right? Because sometimes if you really do everything possible, it's not even from an ROI standpoint, from a return on effort standpoint, if you already have LinkedIn ads at 80% optimalness, then just go to Meta and go from 0 to 10, and you're already so much better off, versus spending 10x the effort to go from 80 to 85 on LinkedIn, as an example. So you need to be omnipresent. It doesn't happen on a single channel. If you're in B2B, newsflash, your buyers aren't just on LinkedIn, they're on YouTube watching videos, they're on Meta, scrolling through their Facebook feeds, or they're on Instagram, they're on TikTok, they're on X, they're on all these platforms, and they're all opportunities for you to expand your reach and scale your business. Number 3 is if you're only ever focusing on capture, you will never scale outside of paid search. This is a huge trap. Everyone wants the people that are ready to make a purchasing decision. That's why it's so freaking expensive. That's why Google ads will never ever get cheaper. It'll only get more competitive, more expensive. So for you as a business watching this, if you can just maximize what is to be had in terms of search, but then already start to go up market and build a full funnel paid media program where you start to educate and build awareness with people before they're actually in market solution aware looking for something, you can already give yourself such an advantage, not only in terms of being able to drive more business for you, but in terms of distribution costs, because it's far less competitive when you go up funnel than focusing on the 3% that are, everyone is, and you're just in this bidding bloodbath on paid search, or even paid review if you're running ads on Capterra and these types of programs. So definitely focus on getting outside of this, because it's a deadly trap that people never get off of. And then, unfortunately, you're going to lose to the people in the long run that are mixing not only capture, but also create, where they're trying to build brand affinity and trust much earlier on, giving them a competitive advantage. The 4th is creatives should tell a story and sell the click, not the product. So often in B2B gets a really bad rap for boring ads and, feature focused ads and ads that are not very problem centric or benefit oriented. And it's true. And the problem is people they're just trying to sell a $50,000 product in their ad copy. It just doesn't work that way. People click your ad. That's the first step. So your ad must be compelling enough where it speaks to the right user. It drives motivation and curiosity. They then go to your landing page, and now it's the responsibility of your landing page to get them to sell them on the next step in your sales process, which might be booking the meeting, or it might be signing up for a free trial. But you're not going to sell a $50,000 product or, less or more, just from somebody seeing an ad and then clicking and converting. Like, you're not in e-commerce, like in e-commerce, the ads can sell the products because, we're talking about like less than $100 per product for the most part. So people can impulse buy and it doesn't take a lot of thought process. When you're talking about B2B and you're talking about long sales cycles, procurement teams, multiple decision makers, nobody's going to impulse buy a 6-month contract and a 50K ACV. Like, it just doesn't happen. So just make sure that your creatives tell a story. They speak to an overarching theme around the problems that your prospects care about. And they're really focusing on getting somebody to click. And then your landing page sets up the next step, and so on and so forth inside your sales process. The fifth is data is the difference between profitability and loss. Quick story. We had a client of ours that basically a change of leadership happened, and leadership came in and they were like, okay, our North Star is ROI. We need to become profitable on our paid search. You have 30 days to make it happen, agency, do your magic. And we basically 3 to 5x their ROI. How, if you're asking? Very simple. We paused what wasn't driving revenue. It was really that simple. So the 80-20 rule, 20% of your things yield 80% of your results. We said, okay, what are the 20% that are actually driving revenue? And then the 80% that wasn't, we turned it off, because in this case, it was all ROI focused. And that was only possible because we had data. So if you don't have data that connects your ads to your revenue impact, you're going to be flying blind and you're not going to be able to make decisions that are optimized for your bottom line profit. So remember, data is the difference between profitability and loss. Make sure you have a good CRM in place. Make sure you're capturing UTMs across sessions. Make sure you have offline conversion tracking set up. Make sure you have a paid revenue dashboard that combines your ad channel performance with your CRM performance so that you can actually make decisions based on profitability and avoid loss. And then the sixth and final truth is your ads will never outperform the offer. I want to repeat that. Your ads will never outperform the offer. You could be getting in front of the exactly right person and they're not taking the decision you want. Why is that? Like, if you're running ads on LinkedIn, you should be getting in front of the right person. And if you're not, that's very easy to fix. But assuming you're getting in front of the right person and they're still not doing what you want, that is a clear indication that your offer is not resonating with them for where they are in their own personal journeys. So instead of, trying to focus on like a blue background versus a green background, saying get a demo versus get a consultation, creating some fake free trial, but it's really a demo in disguise. Like, I've seen all kinds of things. Like, you need to go back to the drawing board and you need to say, okay, what is an offer that I can create? What is the next best thing that I can serve to my audience that they might be interested in, that will allow me to convert them now because it matches where they are in terms of their journey. And then it'll allow me to redirect them to the thing that I ultimately want them to do, which is to book a demo. So in context, or for an example here, maybe I can't get somebody to book a demo right now. They're not ready for it, but I can get them to sign up for a really great webinar that shows how I can solve their problems and they can get a tremendous amount of value from it, which then allows me to set myself up as the next logical step to be able to book demos. This is the kind of stuff you have to think about when we're talking about offers. I hope this video was valuable. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up. Really helps us grow our reach as a small channel, and subscribe so you can be notified of future videos. When you're ready, check us out over at AdConversion.com and join our community of 8,000 plus B2B marketers and master ads with our free courses. Thanks so much. I'll see you in the next one.